Pre-ramble.
We don't have time for a pre-ramble.
Time. We gotta do this quick.
This is the pre-ramble.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even if it's for just a few seconds.
Yeah. So, welcome to Geekisode's mini episode. Jacob is not here. We're doing a mini episode.
I just want to edit him going right.
If this goes really well,
I love you, Jacob.
We're going to kick him out.
Even though he's the host, and this is kind of his idea.
He's not. It's a 4-man crew, man.
And then when you get rid of Bobby, I can be the host.
Yes. Then Jesse will take over, and then he'll kick out Lawson, and he'll be by himself.
Yes. I'd just like to say that hostage rescue still hasn't gotten.
Whoa, Connor's still here. Whoa,
dude! I forgot when we left for the week that I left him in the bathroom, and he's still here. I'm sorry about the mess. I'll clean that up later.
Have you been eating toilet paper to survive?
I've had to do things I don't want to talk about here.
So, but we're just here to try and fill a little time because we didn't have time to get another episode filmed, and we're just gonna talk about some stuff we like.
Let's do it.
We're just gonna talk about random crap
Because 3 of us actually like stuff, and then Lawson.
Then the robot over here.
Hey, this time I've got something I like.
You're the
So,
C-3PO of the group.
I know
No. There's a scene in Terminator where he like cuts his arm and there's like nothing. I want Lawson to do that and prove that he's a robot.
Where's a knife?
I actually know what you like because you filled up my Discord inbox with what it was. So why don't you start us off?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't.
No,
Bobby's
go ahead.
okay.
No, because you.
So hang on.
Might
So
go for
what's the general topic right now?
There is no general topic.
is no
We're just
general
talking.
It's just random stuff. Welcome to the Random Geekisode podcast where we talk about random stuff.
So like we're usually off topic anyway, but now we can't be off topic. We've outsmarted ourselves because there is no topic to be off.
Because there is no one to reel us in because Jacob is gone.
That's right. Okay. So Violet Evergarden. I have watched the first five episodes of this show.
And here we go.
I know. And okay, I love the show. I have not loved a show like this in years. I'm not kidding. Now, maybe, again, second half could be terrible. We'll find out probably next week. I'll do a follow-up. It was great or bad, really short. I love this show. It is about a chick, and she's like a child soldier. This is the backstory to the main story. She's a child soldier. This is all in the first episode, by the way, so no major spoilers until you get the first episode. She gets her arms blown off and is trying to drag her commanding officer off the field with, like, her mouth, and he, like, has a dying confession. He's like... She's grown up with him. She's not a child at this point. She's like a young woman. And he's like, I love you, live free. And she's like, what does that even mean? I've known nothing but war. And then we cut forward. That's like kind of the backstory of the first. And then most of the series is about her. They've given her mechanical, like, steampunk arms. Because it's kind of a industrial age thing, but there's some steampunk elements.
It's Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah. Well, she gets steampunk, like, metal arms and is just like, I don't understand what I'm supposed to do with my life because the war's over now. And this guy said he loved me, and I know nothing but war. What am I to do with my life? And so letter writing has become like a profession in this culture. And people don't dictate. They say, I want a letter that kind of says this, and they kind of give you a vague idea, and you write it for them. The whole thing is in service of trying to understand what love really is, she becomes, it's called an auto-memory stall, which is like a letter writer. And she's going to try and learn about emotions. And the reason I love it is because she is a flipping robot. That's right. She's a flipping robot trying to learn what emotions are and understand people by observing them. And I freaking love this.
She's Johnny 5.
I don't know what that is, but
I understood that reference.
But
dude, you took me back with that. Short circuit. You don't know what short circuit is?
What is a short circuit?
Oh no, never mind.
Okay.
Keep going.
Anyway, so as it goes on, she really does start to change and grow in really interesting ways. And episode 3 and 4 legitimately made me cry. Like, it is emotional as crap. I am the heartless one, and it made me cry. I felt things I haven't felt in years when watching a show. Like, this has the potential, we'll have to see the second half, but has the potential to break into the top 5, which has not changed in like 3 years.
I feel like you're kind of like Creed from The Office, where like Creed from The Office is kind of sociopathic at times, but then he'll listen to like some classical music and then start crying.
Per human emotion.
I'm just saying, so like, I know a lot of stuff doesn't get to me, but this girl trying to understand people and being very terrible at that and taking everything literally, I do relate to. Haha, I know, but I really get a lot out of that. It really touched me.
That's cool.
It's genuinely made me actually, not like bawling, but like tears down the face a couple times already.
You should cosplay her as her the next time we go to an anime
That's exactly
convention.
what I'll do.
Please do not.
No.
Yes, do it.
You didn't see my 707 cosplay, but that's me for now. If we have more time, we'll come around and come up with something else. But
So
I can use
Connor,
my imagination as to what you look like in cosplay.
these legs are not made for a dress.
what is something you want to talk about today?
Well,
It was brought up last week. Holds gun.
there's a book series that I really like. It's called the Malazan Book of the Fallen. So recently that book emotionally traumatized me. So Malazan is a 10-book series, and in book 9, almost everyone dies at the end. Minor spoilers.
You should have led with that.
Oh, most people haven't even heard of it.
Yeah,
So
true.
No, it's an awesome book series, and I do really recommend it if you're into fantasy novels at all, especially if you like Game of Thrones, because I like to call it the adult version of Game of Thrones.
Wow.
So
It's funny we didn't bring that up in the last episode. I felt
About
like that would have been
adaptations.
a very good adaptation.
I know that minor oversight, I guess.
Yeah.
But no,
We already went how long? We were already we had to cut some of the endings off this podcast. So
Well, I might add though, I read the first Game of Thrones book.
Song of Ice and Fire.
Well, no, it's just Game of Thrones, I think. But the first half of it,
the series is called Song of Ice and Fire.
yeah. So the first half of it was word for word with the series. It changed. It digressed, but it was weird how close it was. But anyways, sorry.
So it was just... So I was getting my oil changed with my car when I was reading this particular chapter. The second to last chapter of book 9. And I was in the waiting room, and I got to this point where there's this big, huge battle sequence. And there are characters that have been in the series since book 1.
How long have you been reading this in real life, though?
I have been reading this for, I think I'm at 3 years now.
So this is a big part of your real life. This
Yeah,
isn't something you just
so
binge.
I have invested a lot of time into getting to know these people, and this battle sequence happens, and it is a massacre. It is... I cannot convey how one-sided of a battle it was. And 90% of these characters are corpses littering the battlefield. Smoking, and most of them just aren't even in one piece.
Yeah.
It is just...
Ouch.
Yeah, and that...
I got some messages from you after that.
Yes, Lawson was wonderful enough to listen to me cry to him over the internet.
Hey, you'll do the same for me. I know that.
Yeah, it was. So it was in the middle of the day. I actually texted one of my friends who's finished the series, and I said, "Is 4:30 in the afternoon too early to open up whiskey?" and he goes, "What happened?" And I said, "Everyone I love just got killed by the Kitchen No Turoque. Can you help me, please?" And he goes, "Open the whiskey. You're fine. I won't judge you."
Yeah.
But basically, so it was the Malazan 14th Army, which they spend literally 6 books building up this army. And the first 4 books of the series are basically the backstories of all the most key members of it.
Right.
And then they get in a fight with the Kitchen No Turoque, which are one of the elder races.
Okay.
They are an offshoot of the Kitchen Shamal, and I'm just shouting gibberish at this point.
Sure.
I know.
Go for it.
But the Kitchen No Turoque are they're technologically advanced.
Right.
They have figured out a way to turn magic into a source of energy that they can use to power literal plasma guns in a medieval fantasy setting.
Okay, yeah.
So the Malazan 14th Army's got 20,000 people with it. It is being escorted by a Lothari Imperial Army of about 20,000, and they run into just 3 battalions of Kitchen No Turoque, and those Kitchen No Turoque murder them.
And everyone you love that you've been...
Yeah, it is they are charging at the Kitchen No Turoque and getting gunned down.
Yeah.
And then, to add insult to injury, another army shows up. The Kundril Burned Tears, who are an awesome army in the series. So the Kundril are a warrior race that decided to... they fought against the Malazan 14th.
So are they with the Malazan or...
Yeah,
against-
well, they were with the Malazan. They fought against them initially. And then they decide to change sides and become loyal to this empire. And they do an epic Rohan-style cavalry charge
Interesting.
against the Kitchen No Turoque. And they get gunned down, and it's described as they get turned into a red mist as they're charging.
So that was a bad day for you.
Yes, it was a terrible, terrible day for me. And it hurt my soul.
I'm sorry.
Spoiler alert, everyone.
There is a song
Ice and Fire.
called Pink Mist by a band called Gunship, and I recommend it. You might want to listen to that song while you read
Oh
that chapter.
gosh, he doesn't want to read that again.
Sorry. I know you got emotional over it.
Yeah. So I had a fun time. I cried because I was happy. He cried because he was sad. What about you, Jesse?
Am I supposed to talk about a time I cried, or just think?
I don't
just
know.
whatever you want to.
Okay, I'm just trying to pick whatever I want to. So, we had an episode of the Mech series where you guys brought up Code Geass,
Uh-huh.
and I've recently
Everyone loves it but me.
watched it, and I don't see how you could dislike the show. I really don't. I'm watching it, and I'm like,
It's fantastic.
It's because
yeah.
Lawson is an android and
So
does not compute.
I will say something. You mentioned something in the last episode of me relating to Zazaku, the
I say you a
alternate
little
character.
bit, yeah.
I do like him, but he makes me more angry because I really
just wait.
like Lelouch. I think Lelouch is like, okay, there's some things about him. It's like, okay, man, you could have done that a little differently. But it's like, understandably, no, I've gotten through the first season.
Yeah.
I'm halfway through season 2.
I love how you're laughing like he's going to see what you see.
No,
and he's
no, he
not.
won't. No, because I didn't like it from the beginning. So if he didn't like
no
Did-
one sees
did you
exactly
finish
what
it?
Lawson sees.
Or-
absolutely every episode, start
Every
to finish.
episode.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He watches shows he hates.
Because because my friends say if I stop halfway through, they go, "We didn't get to the good part." So then I go, okay, I got to the good part.
That's exactly what my friends say when I read The Wheel of Time. So
So Connor, did you like Code Geass?
I do. It's one of my favorites.
It's a really good show. I really liked it. I really sympathize with the main character. It's
My only complaint with it is
trigger word is sympathy. I just want you to
I
know that.
do.
I despise the mecha designs in it.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like the fact that the mechas all look like it's a first season problem that they all look like they have roller skates.
Oh,
Yeah. I mean,
And-
I could see that.
And that looked just goofy to me, and it took me a few episodes to get used to that. And then once you get to the second season, they all start having the ability to fly, but they have butterfly wings with diamond fractals essentially. And
Yeah.
I can't
My
take
favorite
that
part about the
seriously.
mecha design is that all the women's mechs have to be doggy style, and I think that's an interesting design choice on the part of the scientists.
Okay, I never noticed.
No
that,
one else
but-
noticed. No one else noticed that.
I noticed. Looking back on it, retroactively, yeah, you're right. That is kind of weird.
Only the women's
But-
mechs.
But I can't get too much onto that.
It's a
because
nitpick. It's a nitpick. I'll admit.
designs for this were made by Clamp, and Clamp is like all women.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I like
And
it.
it's
the
just a
women
weird thing.
design in Code Geass is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Poor Table Coon.
Sorry, I had to go there. But anyways,
Poor Table Coon. That keeps
so that's my show I've been watching. I know it's been around for a while. My
well, the
friends,
third season's coming out soon.
third seasion's coming out.
Yes.
Did you not know about that? Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Apparently they're starting another season.
Yeah, season 3, Lelouch of the Resurrection.
I'm not through with season 2 yet. I'm halfway through season 2, so I'm still
And if you'd like to
you
watch
got
a
that
good
far?
season 3 of a mech show that has been
crap.
in
Yeah, you've been watching a lot.
hiatus
I have
for the
been.
past
I've
10
really
years.
enjoyed
say
it.
Full
Full
Metal
Metal
Panic,
Panic.
I will throw you out the window.
Full Metal Panic.
So
I'm throwing you
let
out
me
the
go
window.
on to my next
Go on.
thing. So there's a game on PS4. It was $20. I invested in it because I saw it on.
Because you won't play Resident Evil.
No, it's a really simple game. It's really fun, but it's
In fairness to him, I won't play Resident Evil either. So
it's a game called Project Nimbus, and it's basically this mech game where you're like flying through space and just like it's like almost Ace Combat meets mech.
Well, that's cool.
It's really fun.
I have a mech game that I play that's called Strike Suit Infinity. That
I've never
is
heard of it.
We're easing him into the PC
Yeah.
Master Race, so
it is a PC game. It requires you to be a member of the Master Race.
he is, but he's just
Semi.
adjusting.
It also
He's a
requires you to
half-breed.
have this rare and mysterious piece of equipment called a joystick.
Oh,
Yes, because
Interesting.
The mythical joystick?
yes,
Mythical
yes,
joystick.
I have a Microsoft Sidewinder from the 90s. Thank you. I'm amazed it still works. Anyways,
Does it plug in by USB?
it does.
It's interesting.
It is an old machine. Anyways, yeah, it's the gameplay is half Starfighter style, where you use the joystick to control it like you're piloting a starfighter, but then you can switch into a mecha mode, which is keyboard and mouse. So it is ridiculous to learn the control scheme for it, but I unabashedly love it. Strike Suit Infinity is basically it's a straight survival mode, wave after wave. And as you progress through it, you unlock new weapons and upgrades for your mech. But it's fun.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's a thing I like.
Big fan of mechs.
Yeah.
So-
We didn't notice.
No, you didn't.
Pan around the room.
We haven't brought it up like multiple times.
No.
Yeah, I didn't assume that all these Gunpla models were yours initially.
It's
No.
his wife's.
Yeah,
She loves
yeah.
it, man. There's a couple things she loves in this world. It's saving money and buying Goomplas.
It's strange
Very
because
true.
those are like contradictory to each other.
Very much so. All my pain that I
It's
have.
what you just I don't know what do you do?
Well, we're not going to talk about that.
Okay.
We're going to move on to the next subject, which is you.
Yeah.
You are the
Me?
next subject.
I'm the next subject.
Yes, I said what I was interested in this last couple weeks.
What do you like, and can we shit all over it?
I mean, yeah, you probably could, but I could do the same thing for you guys. Your
Kinda
your
already
book
did
you
for
loved.
me, so.
My God, how about some simple names? Jesus.
Okay, no, that's a valid criticism, is that Stephen Erickson, the writer of that series, does not know when to stop using apostrophes.
I spent an all-nighter beating God of War, the new one.
Oh, you mean Dad of Son?
I have already watched that, so yeah. It's a fantastic game. It's weird how they go from they literally go from Dante Devil May Cry to Souls in a way.
I take slight offense at the insinuation that I get that you're just saying genre, but Devil May Cry is in a whole other tier than the old God of War games as far as the style of gameplay.
I'm
look,
not
for
saying
starters,
there's
I
like
don't
a
think-
stylized,
I don't think Devil May Cry had that awful
Situation,
fixed camera system.
but
The first one did.
Oh, I'm
they're
sorry.
kind of the same and
They're the same genre. I just want to
Like,
specify that I
it's-
think Devil May Cry is way above old God of War.
So, what did you think about God of War?
I don't know. I guess I have to listen to more about Lost and talk about how he thinks I'm wrong about the way I'm describing it.
So, what did you think personally, specifically about God of War?
So the first three, I don't particularly care for story-wise. Gameplay was fun. It kept me interested into it. They had good action set pieces, but Kratos' whole reasoning for doing what he did, selfish. But in this one, there's a good
Sympathetic.
father. I never said that. Never said he
I
was
said-
sympathetic. That word did not come
I know.
out of my
I
mouth
said
right
it.
here.
I said it because I thought it was funny.
Because he's not sympathetic at all.
In this new game, he isn't.
In this new game, no.
I'm talking about the new one.
No. I was talking about the first three, and then
And then you said, but now in this fourth one, I said
in
he's
this
sympathetic.
fourth one,
Yeah.
there's not really much for him to be sympathetic for.
Not even with the boy.
Well, because you can feel that he's grieving over his new wife passing away.
Right.
But the story is more about him and his son bonding because he's been away from his son.
Right. Okay.
Even the kids is I don't know this man.
Mm-hmm.
He was there. He gave the baby gravy and just disappeared and then came back.
Baby gravy.
Please stop.
Baby gravy. So in this one, they do a really good job of displaying this innocent Atreus as this innocent little boy who also has anger issues, but there's a very you can feel for him because his mom just died. His whole deal is they're trying to get his mom's ashes to the highest peak in all of the world, and that's what they're trying to do. And you have this amazing. Your first boss battle is between Baldur, who can't feel anything. It's amazing. You fight him 3 times, and they're all amazing.
As a purveyor of Norse mythology, I'm confused as to why Balder can't feel anything.
Because apparently the lore of Balder is that he can't be harmed by anything.
It's,
And led by
it's
the
very
size
different.
mistletoe.
It's not
okay.
accurate, but it's just its own thing. It's like Loki and MCU. There you go.
You have to understand, my best friend, his dissertation is on Norse mythology, so it's a knee-jerk reaction.
But an all-nighter though, like you must have really loved it.
I started at 8:30.
Yeah.
And then I didn't go to bed until 6:30. And I was playing a couple hours before then.
It's kind of like Stranger Things season 2.
Yeah, which would mean
if you like
which
Stranger
we-
Things.
Binge watched for like a whole entire.
We started at like 8
That
o'clock.
sounds like punishment.
Do you not like
Do you
Stranger
not like
Things?
Stranger
I don't
Things?
like Stranger
I
Things.
enjoyed it.
You can get the hell out of here.
I would.
I'll support. Hey, as someone who's always the guy that hates the thing, I respect your
You-
opinion. To hate
I
things.
would, but Hostage Rescue hasn't gotten
That's
here yet.
true.
We
That's
are
true. The
So-
ankle
so
bracelet.
let's
Officially,
let's
we're letting you
clarify
go.
something.
Yeah.
You like Stranger Things?
Yeah.
Oh, did you watch season 2?
Yeah.
You
I like 2 better than
season
1.
2? Whoa.
Besides that,
see, I didn't even make
This is
episode in Chicago.
this is
I
a
didn't
normal
go.
moment for him. Let him
This is
enjoy
weird.
this.
No, but it's okay. I want to support my fellow.
No. He had the Star
Star
Wars
Wars.
episode.
Yeah.
But that was still hating something.
No. That was you. Yeah.
This is something I like, so that is different.
He likes Stranger Things.
Okay.
See, okay, I'm not going to talk about Stranger Things because you actually like that. And I don't want to take that away
That's
from
okay.
you. So.
No, that's fine. But I don't care. We don't have time.
Yeah.
But
we don't have time for that
We'll
either.
say what you want to about the show. The music. The music.
Okay.
South Park has a great thing about that where they're like the kids are trying to search for Kyle's brother, and they were like, we're gonna do like Stranger Things, and they're gonna use like a cool 80s music, but they put it on like 80s genre, and it just keeps on playing like really bad 80s music.
okay, that's pretty great.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's pretty great.
Yeah, but God of War is great.
Mm-hmm.
Balder you have great fight scenes. He's like the only god you
So-
really well you fight Thor's sons, but that's about it.
Okay.
So we got about 5 minutes left in our mini
Mhm.
episode. So did that remind you of any game, any other game or anything?
Last of Us,
Really?
the father-son dynamic.
Okay, I 100% agree, which is why I didn't. I have nothing. I don't know enough about God of War to say, but I looked at that and went, oh, it looks like The Last of Us, and I didn't like The Last of Us, so I went, I'm just gonna probably not for me.
Oh, their bond is it feels like a father-son
Yeah.
bond. You're growing in it, and then the ending, which I'm not going to spoil on here because I don't want to.
But I heard what you talked about.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that ending.
Well, I was gonna say that's a style of game that's really come into prominence recently, kind of starting with The Last of Us, where there's this kind of I call them walkie-talkie bonding simulators, which is I know that's insulting. They're not just because I don't like them as much, but the Gaming Brit talks about those. I find them interesting because a lot of people seem to have really resonated with those, and
if your game has a good story, and I don't mind sitting there watching it. I mean, it's
I
not
100%
as bad.
agree.
It's not as bad as Kojima. You praise Kojima for having a 45-minute long cutscene, but
I don't know if I praise Kojima for that, but yeah.
well, I'm talking about people in general. I got it, dude.
Well, I do
Um,
praise Kojima for creating Senator Stephen Armstrong.
Oh my gosh!
Which is the most magnificent
Don't-
thing I've
don't get
ever
me
seen
wrong,
in a video
but
game.
I've played Metal Gear Solid 4. You spend 30 minutes just watching a cutscene, and then like somebody else does it, but it's in game, and then you give them flack for not having enough gameplay. But Kojima can do that, and he's a god.
No,
I'm throwing
I have
Kojima
criticism of
under the
Kojima,
bus.
too.
I see your point,
think Death
actually. I do see your
Stranding
point.
It's going to be an over-convoluted piece of crap.
I agree.
Great gameplay, but you're not going to understand the story.
I agree. One small thing. The difference that I have between because I agree with all the criticisms you just said of Kojima. 100%, I actually do. The difference is you can skip Kojima's cutscenes. You have to walk through all the crap in God of War, and you can't skip that. And I don't like that.
So 2 minutes about Last of Us. Why don't you like it?
We
know-
need to play. I want to reserve emotions because this is the same thing. I played the first hour, just watched basically the open and went, and I quit from there. And everyone's going to say, but all the good stuff happens later. I jumped off because it didn't grab me at the beginning. So now we're going to have to play it.
Daughter
I'm going to play the
dying?
whole...
Yeah, that's my first question. You watched that little girl die, and you're like, eh.
To take some pressure
I didn't know her. Why do I care that she's
off
dead?
of Lawson, I wasn't even able to play The Last of Us because I saw the opening cutscene on YouTube and it didn't interest me.
That's exactly. Yeah, I watched someone playing it.
Disagree.
Because you can show all the digital little girls dying you want. If I don't care, then I don't care.
I don't know her.
You
Why
have-
do I? She is a bag of pixels.
Yeah, this
what
goes
is her name?
This goes to writing. You have to make me care before you kill them. That's the reason why that book I ranted about hit me so hard, is because I spent 9 books getting to know some of these characters.
Well, that's true
I care.
too. But it's like, okay, you start out in his hometown, and we don't have that much longer. We start in this hometown, and it comes into this very real home. This single dad is raising this girl. You know, you can see that's real, and then he loses her, and it's just sad.
I'll give you something. Here's what I want to do. No, I know. I know. Here's what
it related. I mean, I didn't relate to it, but I could see how that would. I was sad about it when I saw it.
Here's what I want to do, because we're gonna put Jacob through some anime stuff later in season 2. I know. Why don't we do one with me where we'll play some of The Last of Us? We'll play through a portion or maybe the whole thing. I'll come back, see if my opinions change when I've given it a second chance. It might. My opinion has changed before. I promise you it has.
Can I make you play XCOM?
Yeah.
I would
Probably.
love to see that game emotionally.
We'll come back to
break
that.
you.
We'll come back a bit. I know we got to wind up soon. Yeah. But hey, well, I was just gonna say.
Well, okay. Well, this is Geekisode.
What, that's it?
Well, we don't have time for
Well, why
my
don't we
other
just
thing.
say, hey, thank you for listening. Sorry that we didn't have a full.
If you let me do this.
I thought you were just done.
I've
Bobby's
done
the
this
host.
Before.
But then he said we're done.
I'm trying to lead
We're
us
so
out.
lost without you, Jacob.
Can I do this?
Sorry.
Jacob, come
No,
back.
we're not lost. Lawson just wants to butt in.
I thought you were just
I'm
like
Benjamin
we're done.
Linus.
No.
My
let me-
plan to turn these 3 against each other is succeeding.
Oh no!
Just let me do my thing.
Do
I
it.
know what I'm doing.
Do it.
All right. Thank you for listening to Geekisodes. This is our mini episode. It's not very long, but it'll get you by through the week. You guys can listen to us on YouTube, and we have a couple episodes on iTunes. You can also email us at geekisodes@gmail.com. And we have a Facebook and a Twitter.
I manage those. Why are you telling everyone?
So they know.
Like our pictures on Instagram.
Do we have an Instagram?
We do have an Instagram.
Well, like our pictures on Instagram.
Like
There
our
you
pictures
go.
on Instagram.
I killed Cthulhu, so no one's hailing him.
You can't
no,
kill
false.
Cthulhu. He's unkillable.
Did you play Bloodborne? I don't think so.
I did.
Did you
don't
read the book?
literally
They
kill
rammed his
Cthulhu.
head open with a ship in the book, and he survived. All hail Cthulhu.
No.
Hell Cthulhu. You guys have a good night.
Hail Cthulhu.
I'd be willing.
What's wrong, Metal Gear guy?
It's a clear misrepresentation of a culture or people. Simple as that.
Butt, boobs, mechs, and mind control. Fortune cookies! Huh? A war being started because the main character accidentally used his mind control powers to make his sister murder all the Japanese people. I feel dumb just saying that.
Here's the issue. Dark Souls isn't difficult.
Nostalgia.
Nothing to really get excited about. I've rediscovered my passion thanks to this book.
Shut up, fool!